Hi, first grade parents. I'm Lisa Wolf, and I'm so excited for this year for you and your child. It's going to be a great year in first grade. This is our curriculum night presentation that I usually give the night of curriculum night, but I found that there's so much to talk about that night that the presentation often ends very quickly without much time for you to explore the classroom, leave notes for your child, or sign up for other opportunities. So I'd like to send this to you in advance to give us a little bit more relaxed curriculum night on Thursday. So I look forward to seeing you all on Thursday, and I hope you enjoy our presentation. I'd like to start by telling you how much I absolutely love my job and I love first grade. It's an absolutely magical year for your child, and I'm so excited to be a part of it. I'd like for you and I to be a team for your child this year. You really are the expert on your child, and so I'll need your advice throughout the year. If you ever have any questions or concerns, please feel free to let me know. I really want this to be a wonderful year for your child and for you and your family as well. At curriculum night, there will be a Bulldog folder on your child's desk. So here's a little sneak peek of some of the things that will be in the folder. All of these will be yours to keep, and I'll also make them available on our class website as well. On one side of the folder, you'll see information about our curriculum, our class schedule when we go to gym, music, and art, and a little bit more information about the Bulldog binder your child has been bringing home. On the other side of the folder, you'll see a completely optional donation wish list, some information about reading at home with your child, some things you can talk about before, during, and after the book, and some strategies to try if your child gets stuck on a word. You'll also see some homework ideas if you're looking for more enrichment activities, and some help if you find your child struggling. We use the Handwriting Without Tears alphabet, so I'm sending home a copy of how we form those letters. You'll also have a copy of our math problem types and glossary from our expressions curriculum. It might sound a little funny to send home a glossary for first grade math, but there are some terms that are unique to the program, like a partner house or a math mountain that you might not be familiar with. So this can be a guide for you at home. You'll also see some information from our district reading interventionists and about our Butterfield positive behavior system at our school. Also, I'd like to talk about some of our sign-ups. We have our class Google Docs that are now live and available on our class website. So this is where you can find links for parent volunteers in the classroom, or if you or someone close to your child would like to be a mystery reader. These will be available on our website all year in case you ever need to change mystery reader dates or you'd like to sign up at a later time. Also coming soon, there will be an online link sent out by Dr. Kehoe for our parent-teacher conferences in October. If you are not receiving Dr. Kehoe's weekly emails, you will want to visit our Butterfield School website and make sure you register for those. She sends out a lot of important information and helpful links, including that conference sign-up. My only advice for you is that if you have 2 children, or even more, some of you, at Butterfield this year, you might want to leave a 15-minute window in between each child's conference. It will give you and your child's teacher a little bit of a buffer in between, and just in case you see your favorite neighbor in the hallway, it'll give you a moment to say hello before you move on to the next conference. Also, you will see our BFA opportunities. They've sent out this year an online sign-up through signup.com. There you can sign up to be possibly our room parent, a party volunteer, or we love our famous artist parents that come in 5 times throughout the year and teach the children about a famous artist, and kids get to try to recreate some of their artwork. It's a great program, and we thank you for your help with it. In the classroom this year at Curriculum Night, our clothing and toy sale volunteer sign-up will be there. Now I'd like to move on to our curriculum. In language arts, we start with our reading block, and our reading block looks like this. We start with a 5 to 10 minute whole group mini lesson. I keep it very short for the first graders. That whole group mini lesson could include one of our Gretchen Courtney comprehension strategies, like making a prediction, making a mental image, summarizing the text. It could include learning a grammar lesson for the day, identifying nouns, verbs, adjectives, or one of our Face of a Reader strategies. So Face of a Reader is an acronym that stands for fluency, accuracy, comprehension, or expand vocabulary. So this is where I will front load whole class lessons about fluency or accuracy if we get stuck on a word, or how we can expand our vocabulary. Then students move into either a daily 5 choice, or they meet with me in their small leveled reading group. And then once those groups are over, we gather back together and we repeat that again, either one more time or 2 more times throughout the morning. Let's take a closer look at some of those daily 5 choices. Here you'll see examples of students reading to themselves, reading to someone, listening to reading at our CD player or on our class iPads, doing word work, practicing spelling our sight words, and working on writing. So these are the options that are available for students every day during our writing block. Another part of our language arts curriculum is our writing workshop time. I really want students to see themselves as authors, to love writing, and to feel like they have stories to tell. We use our Zaner-Bloser curriculum, which is based on the 6 traits, and all throughout first grade they will experience writing in all 3 main types in the narrative, informative, and opinion genres. We will also publish some stories throughout the year and celebrate with our author celebrations. And our final language arts component is spelling. Right now we'll be piloting a new spelling program for the first 2 months of school. So you'll see traditional spelling lists come home for those weeks. Then in November, we'll move to our Words Their Way program. These will include leveled spelling groups, and the focus is on recognizing common spelling patterns. So they'll practice their sort at home throughout the week, and then they'll glue their sort in their notebook for their Thursday night homework. Next, let's move to math. We're using our expressions curriculum, and the first grade focus is on number sense and the ability to explain their thinking, and often being able to show multiple ways to arrive at that answer. Each unit focuses on a different math skill before we move on to the next skill. We use a lot of manipulatives, and we practice through games to keep the learning fun. In science, we'll be piloting an NGSS Science STEMS program, and we'll be piloting their life science unit this fall. The unit is inquiry-based and includes a lot of experiments. In the winter, we'll be doing a light and sound unit, and in spring is our space unit. For social studies, we use our Social Studies Alive curriculum, and our main first grade units are that in the fall we learn about communities and school rules. In the winter time we do a big families unit, and in the spring we learn about maps and geography. Okay, now every student is of course an individual and has many different needs. So I'd like to talk through how I meet your child's individual academic needs. I use a lot of flexible small group instruction all throughout the day. The first way I do that is through reading groups. Depending on the needs of that reading group, they could meet with me anywhere from 2 to 5 times throughout the week. And each time they meet with me, we work on the same story for anywhere from 1 to 3 meetings. So if you're not seeing a guided reading book come home that often, it could be that we're working on it several times together in group before it will come home. In these reading groups, I work on spelling and sight word instruction. I give explicit accuracy, comprehension, fluency, and vocabulary instruction right at their reading level. We also wrap up our groups with story response writing. And then, of course, we work on reading our books together. When your child does bring home their reading group book, you'll see it come home in the front pocket of their binder, the one that's currently labeled Sign and Return. This book should be easy for your child to read now that we've worked on it anywhere from 1 to 3 times together in our instructional reading group. But it will start at their instructional level. So if that book comes home and they can fluently read that book to you, celebrate that with your child. That's a great thing because it probably didn't start that way when they first read it with me. Please feel free to keep this book at home for 1 to 2 days or even longer if your child's really enjoying it, and then return it back to school. When your child reads this book to you, you can talk to them a lot about the story and ask them a lot of why questions. Why do you think that happened? Why did the character choose to do that? Why did the author end the story that way? Those why questions will really get them thinking about the story. Another way that I meet your child's academic needs are through those leveled word study groups. They're going to be working with other students that are working on spelling similar patterns. And we are grouped amongst the entire grade level. So your child might be with either Mrs. Hogan or Mrs. Jenkins just for that word study time on Monday afternoons. And that will begin in November. Another way that I meet your child's individual academic needs is that I teach math through small instructional groups. These groups are determined by unit pre-tests, so they're flexible and they change throughout the year. Some units have 2 groups and some have 3, depending on student needs for that unit. And I tailor these groups to the student's needs. So it's always meeting the objective of the lesson, but students that need a little bit more practice, we can delve a little bit further into the review of that idea. And students that are ready to move forward, we can enrich that lesson a little bit further for them. This also allows for greater student participation. By being in a smaller group, they feel more comfortable to share and have more opportunities to share. Just as important as your child's academic needs are your child's social and emotional needs. I meet that through several ways in the classroom. We begin each day with a morning meeting. We go around the circle and we greet every student by name. We have lots of different ways to do that to keep it fun. We also review our daily schedule and objectives so that every student knows exactly what that day is going to look like. Students also have flexible seating options in the classroom. They're welcome to work anywhere around the classroom during a work time. If they prefer to sit at a table or they prefer to sit on the floor or on a cushion, whatever works best for them. If they work well in a group, they're welcome to stay at their desk. If they prefer a little bit more of an individual space, they're welcome to find that too. We also have 2 main character education programs at school. We have our school-wide Character Counts program, and then in the classroom I follow the Bucket Fillers program. We believe that every student carries around and every individual carries around an invisible bucket, and everything you do either fills up someone's bucket or dips into it. So we all work very hard to fill each other's buckets all throughout the day. I believe in positive classroom rewards. So together we came up with 4 bucket filler choices that we believe we can try and do each and every day to make our classroom a great place to be. Number 1 is that we will follow directions quickly. 2 will be safe. 3 will be kind. And 4, we will work hard. My whole class behavior management system I call the scoreboard. Just a little secret between us, I never have a difference of greater than 3 between our smileys and our frownies. I don't want them to feel like they're too far ahead, and I don't want them to feel like it's not possible for them to catch up through it during the day. So anytime students are doing something really well, I give them a tally under the smiley face, and we get to have a 1-second party we all go, oh yeah. Or if there's ever a time throughout the day where maybe we could be doing something just a little bit better, there's a tally under the frowny face and we all give a mighty groan. Oh, the kids love this idea and it makes it feel like a game all throughout the day. I also have an individual behavior management and a goal tracking system. We call it our Super Improvers team. I want students to know that they are only competing with themselves. And this is not a clip chart. All students begin at that bottom rookie level. And then when they meet their goal, they move up and up throughout that Super Improvers wall to learner, leader, captain, MVP. Maybe they'll even make it to Whiz Kid, Pro, Expert, Master, or even to the Legend level. Each time they level up, it unlocks new rewards and new prizes. I never reveal what my rewards or prizes are. I tell them it's just like a video game. You don't get to find out until you reach that level. It keeps them working so hard and keeps them motivated to reach their next level. Students get to level up by earning pennies in their colorful buckets. As soon as they reach 10 pennies in their bucket, they get to level up to the next Super Improvers team level. Their card will also change color so that they can see that they've made it to the next level. It keeps students motivated and excited to reach their goals. There's a closer look at our Super Improvers. I'd like to talk about our home-school connection, which is so important. Let's talk about communication. If you ever need me or have a question or would like to talk, please feel free to email me. There's my email address for you. If you would prefer to have a phone conversation, I'm happy to do so. Just send me an email and let me know. We don't have phones in our classrooms. They're quite a ways down the hall. So just let me know and I'm happy to call you. This year I'm also going to use the Remind app and I'll send hopefully a daily text to you with a picture. It might not be of your child, but at least it's an activity that we've done that day. So this way you can see something that we've done in our first grade classroom that day. I'll also send out just a couple reminders whenever we need them. So you can sign up by texting from your phone to the number 81010 and send the message at Mrs. Wolf's 1 and you will join our Remind text group. You can also check our website, mrswolfsfirstgrade.weebly.com. I've tried to put a lot of information from this presentation on our website to hopefully answer any questions for you. I'll also put copies of our newsletter and I'll put pictures whenever we have big events like our Halloween party or videos of any of our plays. Those will all go on our website so they're available for you. I do tweet, so if you're on Twitter, you can follow me at Mrs. Wolf D70. And if you do follow me, you can click that you like any of the pictures and that will let me know that you're following us and enjoying what you're seeing. This year, your child will also have a Seesaw online portfolio. So at curriculum night, you'll be able to scan our QR code, which will let you in so that you can view from the parent end anytime your child adds a project to their online portfolio. You'll also see in your child's binder, they came home on Monday with their very first homework and newsletter. So the peek at our week section of the newsletter will give you a preview of what's coming up for our week ahead. This way you can ask questions to your child all throughout the week. Oh, have you done this yet? Have you done this yet? Instead of telling you on Friday what we did this past week, this way I'd like to give you a preview of what's to come. You'll also see some information from the teacher's desk and upcoming calendar events. Let's talk about transportation changes. If your child's ever going home a different way than our usual plan for your child, please send me a paper note. I know with all of this technology, it seems so quick and easy to just send an email, But sometimes with email, I might have a substitute for the day, or maybe our system is down. So really the most reliable way is the old way, which is a paper note in the morning. You can put that in the Notes from Mrs. Wolf pocket in the Bulldog binder, and your child will pull it out in the morning and make sure it gets to me. I know that's in a perfect world, which isn't always reality. So if there's ever a change during the middle of the day, you weren't able to do a note in the morning, if you do send an email, please include our wonderful secretaries on that email, and that way somebody else here at school also knows how your child is going home. You can also call the office if you'd like and directly speak to someone and let them know how your child is going home for that day. Your child can bring a morning snack. Each student brings his or her own snack every day. Healthy ones are best, of course. I know I have picky eaters at home, but if you can send fruits or vegetables, those are always great. We do have allergies in our classroom, so if you could please not send anything that contains peanuts or tree nuts, we'd really appreciate that. Your child can also bring a water bottle. They are able to refill those during the day if they need to. Please only send water inside those bottles. Your child started bringing home a Bulldog binder on the very first day of school. We ordered these over the summer so that this way I could have that all prepped and ready for your child so that they could bring it home that very first day. So since it was not included on the supply list, if you could please send in $4 to cover the cost, there will be a little form on your child's desk at curriculum night. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. With the Bulldog binder, if you could please empty the red folder daily. The red folder should contain anything that will stay at home. The black front pouch is currently empty, but soon it will get quite full, and that will contain materials that are needed for both home and school. So because we'll also need it at school, could you please return those items to the pouch every night whenever they're used at home? This way your child will also have them available at school. Let's talk about homework. I use what's called a team homework approach. So the class works as a team to earn various rewards. So new homework sheets will be in your child's pocket every Friday. It'll go right in that homework and updates pocket. Please tally anytime your child does any of those homework activities throughout the week, but return it always to that pocket so it stays in there. Then your child will turn that in on Fridays. So Thursday nights, if you together could just total up their stars, your child can write his or her name, and if you can sign it down at the bottom, that way it's all ready for Fridays. Our homework is optional. Those are just my suggestions for every night. So if you see something written for Tuesday, and that's when your child has baseball practice, feel free to do it another day during the week. If you feel like once all of our homework really builds up, for now it's mostly just reading. But once we start to add a few more things, if it's overwhelming for your child, please pick and choose what works best for you and your family. Or if you feel like homework is really beneficial for your child at home, feel free to do all of them. And if your child even does things more than once, you can put another star next to it as well. Once our math units get up and rolling, I will send all of the unit homework pages together in one packet. You may complete those as you feel necessary, or if you don't feel like they're helpful for your child, they're completely optional. And they do not need to be returned unless your child's really proud of it and really wants to show me. So speaking of our homework, that will be on the other side of that homework and update section. So this is one that you might see in a couple weeks. You'll start to see a few more things added, and you'll always see those extras down there too. So if your child does those more than once, feel free to put another star next to it. Coming soon, once our reading groups are up and running, Every child will be able to bring home a leveled reading book bag. I know how hard it is to find books at those early reading levels, so I'd like to help you with that as much as I can. If your child receives service from either of our reading interventionists, either Mrs. Crivello or Miss Lutz, they'll bring home a book bag from those teachers, and it will look like the bag on the left. If your child does not see either of our reading interventionists, they'll get a book bag from me. I'll call it a book bag just so that it all sounds the same, but really it's just a plastic envelope, and it will be in your child's Bulldog binder. Every reading group has leveled reading book tubs that they can shop from in our classroom just for these reading book bags. So your child will be able to choose 2 to 3 books from their leveled book tub, and you can keep these as long as you'd like. Kids can come and return and shop for new books anytime. They can do it every day. They can do it once a week, whatever works best for you. We love celebrating birthdays. We have 22 children in our class this year, and if you decide to send in dessert-type treats, I just ask that you please make them easy to serve. We usually celebrate birthdays and enjoy our snacks while we're also doing a little bit of work. So if you could please not send in cakes of any kind, or even cookie cakes tend to be a little bit tricky. We always celebrate at the end of the day, so you're welcome to drop things off in the office if it's a little tricky for your first grader to bring those treats on the school bus. If you feel more comfortable celebrating with non-food treats, you're welcome to do that as well. We make birthdays a special day for your child. You can see a picture of how we make their own mixed up song for the day. We sing their special song, and we also make them a special birthday book. Thank you so much for watching this presentation. I'm looking so forward to seeing all of you on Thursday night.